Alright you guys, so here we are, the long-awaited Pom Pom video. I am going to be doing fall colors today, so I recently just made this one, and I'm really going to be adding it to this cover. I'm going to do a little hole there and then have some little pom-pom action going on here. So that's my plan for this journal, and so I wanted to do a video because I did have some interest on how to use these little pom-pom makers. Now, I don't know where I bought these. I think someone gave them to me. This is one set. I only can find two from the set. I know I have a larger one, and I didn't get rid of it, I know, but I hosted another class recently, and I was showing them how to do pom-poms, and I bought one on Amazon, and it was not of good quality, and it was really hard. I mean, it was like when you try to take it apart, it wasn't a sturdy plastic, and I wouldn't recommend it. Let me just put it that way. So, so yeah, if you can find these, I know they have these. This is brand, it says Clover on it. I will do some research because on Amazon after this video and just see if I can find maybe this brand. But this one is a really good brand for making pom-poms. So basically it comes just like this, and they have different sizes. They actually have a really large one, which I thought I would really like as well. But this size right here makes this size pom-pom. So, and this is a good size for me for when I put them on my journals and things like that. Okay, so basically I'm going to show you what it looks like. So it has two pieces here, right? And I know a lot of people use like cardboard. I think even as kids, when we were kids, my sister knew how to do it. I could totally figure it out. I mean, I know there's tons of videos, but I'm happy with just using this Pom Pom Maker. But it looks like this. I mean, it comes completely apart, right? Because you will be taking it apart. But let me not confuse you more. Let's just do, we're going to start on one side. So both of these little arms come out like that. And then what I do is I get my yarn and I hold it on one side, like I kind of hold it in my fingers, and I just start wrapping it around both of these little half circles. And I don't really count, but I try to get it as thick as I can, because the thicker you get your yarn, the fluffier your pom-pom is. So of course I always want a big puffy pom-pom. So I'm just gonna, whoops, kind of got it all. And it's good to just kind of do it like an even around. Like a lot of times I'll do a first layer of the yarn. You can see me doing that. And then and this one, it basically is just going to hold its place, right? So it's just hanging out over here. And then I just kind of go in once I get that base layer done, and I just start adding. I hope I don't get a knot in my yarn. Whoops. Okay, so for the video's sake, which I mean, it's pretty fluffy, right? You're like, well, and so I'm going to do that. I love my Tim Holtz because they're very sharp, and you really need some sharp scissors for this project. So that's one side done, right? And then you're going to open up the other two arms. There's one arm and there's two arms to make your other half circle. And you're going to do the same exact thing that you did to this side. And so I hold this so I can start twirling it around. And sometimes when I'm doing this as a base layer, I will kind of add, maybe start doing it on top of one another, so that way it kind of has, the yarn can kind of grip onto the others. Because see how if you do it like this, it doesn't, I want to kind of keep it as tight as I can. So I do it fairly close, and maybe one on top of the other. And then once you get it all done, then I really thicken it up. And usually, sometimes what I'll do is I'll count on one side. So say if I did like 50 little ones, I'll do 50 on the other side. That way your pom-pom is pretty much even on both sides. But I'm going to call that good. And then you close it. And you cut off your yarn. So now you have this cutest little, looks like a donut of yarn. So then what you're going to do is you're going to come in here with your really sharp scissors and you're going to cut it right down the middle of that circle, right, on both sides. So that's why it had two little arms, because you're going to cut it between those two arms. So I'm going to see how it goes up like that, but you don't want it to flop up. I was trying to use really thick yarn over the weekend and that did not work because the arms wouldn't stay shut. Now I think maybe on bigger ones you could use the thicker yarn, but or maybe I don't need to do as many circles. So see how now you've cut it down the middle and you've got two fluffies on both sides. And then you're going to flip it over and you're going to do the same thing, making sure those arms stay down. And that's why you need really sharp scissors on the end, because I know a lot of my other scissors are not sharp on the tip. So now you have both of them cut down the middle. So you're going to get another piece of yarn, and this one's going to be your hangy thingy. So I come in here and I used to do double, and I don't really know why I would do double. Like I would double it up, and you could, I guess, because I thought it would be sturdier, but one works also. Okay, so you're going to take your yarn, right, and kind of like halfway, like where it's folded in half, you're going to take it and you're going to run it in between those two arms. See how I did that? You're going to run that yarn because it's going to hold these pieces together. So once you put it in the middle, you're going to pull it, and that's going to like hold these pieces together. And then what I do is when it comes on the other side, right, let me trim off these little edges so they don't look, you're not getting confused with what I'm doing. Okay, so I cut off that excess edges. So I pulled the yarn right through this one arm and then pull it down as tight as it goes, right, without opening it up, and then you're going to bring it through like this. So that yarn is on this side and you're going to pull it up through this other side. If that makes sense. You're going to pull it up and then tie it. And one little, I do like because the thing is you want to make it as tight as you can because you don't want those yarn coming unraveled, right? Because basically what you've done is just taken a bunch of yarn, cut yarn, and if you opened it up, they would be little pieces of yarn about that big. So you're tying those pieces in the middle. So I do it as tight as I can, and I might as well just do a double knot just for good measure, right? And then what I like to do is I like to bring those pieces of yarn back through into the other side where you started and do another knot, because I want those, I don't want that pom-pom to come unraveled because this is not tight enough on it. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Now the magic is going to happen. So you have your yarn. This is going to be where you hang it, right? And you're going to open up the arms. You're going to open up one set of arms. Look at the fluff. You're going to open up this other set, right? And then you're going to pull your Pom Pom Maker apart. And then poof, you got a pom-pom. Now, it's not round, right? Because you want it to be round, not oval. So then what I come in and do is I give it a haircut. So I puff it up and then I just go around and give it a trim. Cut off the long ones. And I mean very little my cutting off. As you can see, it looks like a bunch of like fuzz basically. But I'm just kind of giving it a little haircut to make it look more round. And that's why I really like to make them real fluffy, because I like to have a fluffy pom-pom. Okay, let me throw these away so I don't make a mess of more than what I've already have. Then you can kind of like just see where you miss some pieces. See, like how that one's, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like hanging out there, so we're going to trim it up. Oops. Almost trimmed it up too much there. And that way it gives it more of a fluffier look. Okay, and it makes it more round. Then, looky here. Isn't that cute? You have two little bitty pom-poms ready to go and dangle somewhere. So there you have it. That is the Pom Pom Maker. And then what you do is when you put it back together, you make sure those you just click this little piece inside here, metal piece, and you close it back up. You know, you put the arms that are facing, you know, together the same, and then you're ready to make another pom-pom. And these are great with your kids, grandkids, etc., because they're fun, and then it's pretty rewarding at the end, I think. So yeah, so that it is. You have now had the official pom-pom video. Alright, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.